Tonight, we're beginning a three-part series looking at climate change and the challenges facing Australia's north. Scientists are warning the top end is on the front line of some of the most severe changes. Sea level rise in particular is happening faster here than other parts of the continent. They've also found predictions on the rate of change have been underestimated. Jane Bardon reports.
Deep in the Gulf of Carpentaria, mangrove forests, which should be the nurseries of top-end fisheries, have turned to dust.
These are long bums. As you can see, they're normally under the trees, but they're dying.
Mara traditional owner Patsy Evans alerted the Northern Territory government in 2015 that 1,000 kilometres of mangroves were dying.
Oh, this is bad. Worse, unbelievable. Can't even believe what's happening.
This clearly looks like, from the analysis we've done, an extreme series of events: moisture, temperature, salinity.
The very fact that 4 years after this mangrove die-off, the devastation here is still utter, shows that in the top end, we're really on the front line of severe climate change impacts now.
We can't see any other driver of dieback, of the dieback at that scale, other than the extreme climatic envelope has shifted.
Scientists are predicting the already hot, humid top end will continue to get hotter.
Currently, Darwin, for example, gets about 11 days a year over 35 degrees. Under a sort of a business as usual scenario, that could increase by 2090 to an average of 265 days.
50 kilometres off the Darwin coast on Bearsand Island, scientist Mick Guinea is studying how warming is changing the sex of baby flat-pack turtles as they incubate.
One of her eggs?
Yeah. Better put it back in now.
Put it back in, yes.
Yeah. Mick Guinea says if sand temperatures continue to rise each year on Bearsand Island, by 2030 all the turtles born here will be female.
Once the temperatures rise to 34 degrees, then the eggs will no longer be able to hatch, and this population will become extinct. I wasn't expecting to see extinctions in my lifetime.
On Darwin's Casuarina Beach, Stephen Garnett has analysed buried shells and sand to study the rate at which sea level rise is scarring the coast away.
This is stuff's been buried here for 1,400 years, untouched. And then in the last 15 years, that whole front dune has disappeared.
The top end is experiencing sea level rise at twice the rate of southern Australia and the global average.
Because north of here we've got the Arafura Sea, which lies on top of the continental shelf. So it's very shallow, so it warms up very quickly.
The expansion of the warmer shallow seas of northern Australia will contribute to sea level rise that's predicted to inundate several of Darwin's coastal suburbs by 2050. It's not just coastal areas that will be affected by the rise of sea levels. 150 kilometres inland, 50% of Kakadoo's low-lying, bird-life and fish-rich freshwater wetlands will be inundated by 2050.
There's just no way that these animals can adapt genetically at the pace that this change is likely to occur. We've already seen it happening.
Climate change is also expected to strengthen top-end cyclones and storm surges.
Some scientists are saying we now need a Category 6 to account for what is projected for the future.
Scientists now know they've underestimated how much sea levels will be raised by polar ice cap melting.
Most scientists think that they've been too conservative with their projections.
The CSIRO estimates even if the global Paris emissions reduction targets are met, it won't be enough to halt these changes.
If countries of the world do want to reduce emissions to 2 degrees or below, the nationally determined contributions do have to be increased.
Traditional owner Patsy Evans wants those with the power to make change to consider what's happening on her country.
Go out and see what's happening. Go out there and be aware and look at it, and don't make decisions where you are.
Jane Bardon reporting there, and tomorrow in the second part of our series we'll look at how top-end industries, ecosystems and communities are adapting to climate change.